conformity with our anticipated estimates. I sent out communications via email so everyone would know what transpired. And we received 3 bids. The 2 lowest bids were very competitive. One of those bidders is Messer Construction. One of those bidders is Merit Construction. In subsequent to receiving the bids, several analyses were performed of the bids. We had to make sure that all of the contractors and subcontractors as licensed were valid. We have, and they are. Had to make sure that all of their bonding documents were accurate. They are. Insurance certificates, they are. The bids really close. We had a project, if inclusive of the additional 100-bed facility, is $12 million, and the differential in the bids, $35,000. So close. The summative comparison is, if you take your paper clip off, it's the sheet immediately behind the first grouping, and it looks like this. And it'll show you a mathematical comparative of the bids. The top section being Messer's bid, the middle section being Merit's bid, and the lower section being a comparative of the 2 bids. As you can see, the bottom section as a comparative will show you the differentials on the eaches, and then to the far right will give you a summative differential. Items 2 through 9, which are the base bid plus alternates 2 through 9, and 2 through 9 are alternates that some of them we don't necessarily have to have, but we have to have. We want them all, and we believe that they're all justified. But the 2 biggest ones are have-tos, and that's the kitchen equipment and laundry equipment. And by the very nature of having to have those, that means that Messer would be the low bidder on the alternates of any comparative of base bid other than inclusive of the 100-bed addition. In aggregate, Messer would be the low bidder by $58,600 without the 100-bed addition. And if you include the 100-bed addition, Merit is the low bidder by $36,400. The biggest element of differential at the time of the bid opening in a comparison of the bids is the days of completion. Messer's bid was for 560 days, and Merit's bid was for 750 days. That's a difference of 190 days. 6 months, a little over 6 months. The document on top, before I go back to this, Tuesday of last week, I asked that he be provided a list of the subcontractors on the project. As you may recall, that was one of the things that was discussed at one of our last meetings here, was whether we would be provided a listing of all the subs. And I had the architects contact both contractors and get that. We got that information Friday. I sent that on out to you guys on Friday. Now, I'm going to come back and I'm going to just read this first cover page here to you guys, I want you to read along as I go, because this will set the table for the parameters of the discussion. I'll give you the information, now we'll set the parameters. To all. Attached is a bid comparison of Messer Construction's bid of the Justice Center project to American Construction's bid of the Justice Center project. Also attached here too is a listing of subcontractors that Merritt will be using if the Justice Center project is awarded to them. Additionally, attached here too is a listing of subcontractors that Messer Construction will be using if the Justice Center project is awarded to them. The listing of subcontractors provided by both contractors is in response to the request I asked architect Mike Craig to make of both contractors on Tuesday, May the 3rd, 2011. The bid comparison demonstrates that Messer Construction is the contractor whose bid price is the lowest and who stipulates the fastest completion time if the county commission does not being underlined, authorize the construction of the approximate 100-bed North Jail Addition and does not approve the $2 million supplemental bond issue to provide funding for this addition. In total, Messer Construction's bid price for the Justice Center project, exclusive of the North Jail Addition, is $58,600 less than Merritt Construction's bid, and Messer Construction stipulates they will have the project complete within 560 days. Next paragraph. Further, the bid comparison demonstrates that Merritt Construction is the contractor whose bid price is the lowest if the county commission authorizes the construction of the approximate 100-bed North Jail Addition and authorizes the $2 million supplemental bond issue to provide funding for this addition. In total, Merritt Construction's bid price for the Justice Center project, inclusive of the North Jail Addition, is $36,400 less than Messer Construction's bid, and Merritt Construction originally stipulated they will have the project complete in 750 days. However, per Mr. Steve Heatherly's email from Friday, May 6, 2011, Merritt has decreased the stipulated days for completion by 92 days to a revised total of 658 days. I have also communicated directly with Jail Committee Chairman Rusty Orr so that he would have a full understanding of the relationship between the bids received for the Justice Center project and the actions needing to be undertaken by the Commission, so that in his capacity as Jail Committee Chairman, he would be in a position to offer the appropriate motion for approval of the Justice Center bid award and the associated funding documents to facilitate action by the County Commission on the applicable documents. And then I say, if you have any questions. Now, the last thing in this section of documents are two budget amendments. One of them that says option 1 up in the header, and one of them which says option 2 up in the header. Justice Center Budget Amendment 2011-05-16, option 1, and Justice Center Budget Amendment 2011-05-16, option 2. Everybody see those? Option 1, and I'm just going to read it. Whereas it is the desire to construct a Justice Center inclusive of a North Jail Addition, and whereas the North Jail Addition will provide an additional 94 inmate beds, and whereas the undesignated fund balance is being appropriated to provide for the acquisition of food service and laundry equipment. Come over to the Exhibit A. You will see an increase in bonds issued of $2 million. You will see an appropriation for food service and laundry equipment of a total of $356,000. And then you will see the architect fees, engineering services, permits, blah, 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 building improvements, capital outlay, all the way down through there until you get to a net change of $2,356,000. And you see undesignated fund balance of $356,000, which is provided for the equipment, and that's always been our plan. This is if you want the north jail addition and to do the supplemental bondage. Option 2 is without the north jail addition. And it reads, whereas it is desired to construct a justice center exclusive of a north jail addition, and you have to use some undesignated fund balance, and the undesignated fund balance use goes up by about $90,000 in this situation. And the reason it does is we had to, as you remember, authorize the plans to be drawn up on the north jail addition, whether we were going to do it or not, in order for us to find out how much it was going to cost.
I'll make a motion that they approve the option 1, Justice Center Budget Amendment 2011-05-16, option 1, which will take in account the extra 100 beds in the right jail.
That's correct.
And also, we'll be going, I guess, to American Construction because of their lowest bid overall.
Yes, if you do option 1, that's correct. That's what. Now, when you get approved in this committee meeting, approving just this budget amendment is fine. When we get to the commission meeting next Monday night, and I had Peggy make sure we put everything on the agenda, your motion at that time will have to be expanded. And that motion would be to award the contractor bid to American Construction in this case, to approve budget amendment 2011 option 1 here, and to approve the initial and authorizing $2 million supplemental bondage. That would be the components in the motion. And that way you're doing all of your actions at one time and one uniform vote, because you can't vote on the part of it and not vote on the other part of it because there isn't any way else to do it. So for this committee meeting, all that is needed is the budget section.
I'll second his motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
On days for completion, both of these companies evidently are reputable companies, right?
Absolutely.
Why is there such a big difference in the days of completion?
Well, in the bid proposal and solicitation document, we said that time is of the essence to the owner, and that the owner would place a discretionary value on time so that the contractors were encouraged to be as aggressive as they could in what they could guarantee delivery for. Obviously, Messer feels that they can get the project done quicker and are willing to stipulate that they will, with the knowledge that if they fail to do so, they would be facing $1,000 per day liquidated damages. Now, in Merrick's original number of days, included in the bid over here, they said that they weren't clear necessarily on how much weight would be given to the deduct for alternate 9, which is using our present site as a place to take our rock and earth to, and that they come back and moved it down another 92 days below them. Days are a factor, obviously, for the guaranteed delivery price because it affects the contractor to the tune of $1,000 a day. For the owner, days are important because of the overcrowded situation that already presently exists, so we're trying to get done as fast as possible. But there's no way to place a true dollar value on days, and that's the reason it was left as a discretionary item within the bid for the owner to decide how much value you want to place on it. But at the end of the day, to answer your real question, one simply feels like he was more aggressive and could commit to getting it done faster than the other.